Hi everyone, my name is Carly Neville and I'll be talking about my work for my capstone of developing some library websites and managing overdue materials in our collection. So for this project I worked with two communities. I worked for Wool Swamp Road Elementary School, which is the school I primarily work for, and that sees grades K through 5 in the library, as well as a few preschool classes. And then I also developed a website for Center School, which sees grades K through 5 in their library. So for my project, I wanted to develop two websites, one for Wool Swamp Road School and one for Center School. And I wanted to learn how to apply web design principles to the content and organization of the website, as well as learn how to use resources on the website to meet users' information needs. Um, Additionally, I wanted to look at managing the overdue materials in our collection. We have a large number of books in our collection that are marked as overdue in our system, but might have actually been incorrectly reshelved without being checked in when they were sort of transitioning from uh, stuff that was going on during COVID of the library was repurposed. And so when the library came back, a lot of those materials weren't uh, scanned in correctly. So what I wanted to do was develop a process to check the list of overdue materials and make sure that they were either truly overdue and the student needed to be contacted to return the book, or that they were incorrectly labeled as overdue and on the shelves. So part of that, one of my learning objectives, is that I wanted to develop the communication skills to contact a patron to let them know that their materials are overdue. So I did face some setbacks with this project. One was that there was extensive water damage to the school, which resulted in a preschool classroom needing to use the library. And so because of this, I actually was not able to access the library materials for most of the quarter. Also, I noticed that there were more issues in the process of checking in books than I had originally thought. I originally thought I only had to worry about the books that weren't checked in due to the COVID restrictions, but I realized that um, one day or 2 days I was absent and there was a substitute there, and without knowing, she had accidentally not scanned in any of the books that kids had brought in that day or checked out any of the books that the kids had brought in that day. So that's resulting in over 200 students worth of books. And so because of that, it became apparent that the best way to check for overdue materials is to scan everyone. So I was able to scan in the fiction books with authors' last names A through D. That was not the whole section, but it was much more time consuming than I had originally thought. But I also developed a form so that when I do know what books are truly overdue, I can send that home with students and they will have that information. And then I also did write out a process for checking out books for anyone who is using the computer. And then I also did create two library websites. So here are some images from the Wool Swamp Road School website. You can't tell in these pictures, but those are actually moving GIFs to sort of entice students to click on those different links. I actually made the different links accessible by either clicking on the picture or clicking on the words. That way our younger students that can't read will be able to click those. And those are some other pictures from our library. Here's our virtual resources tab with a few examples. I made icons with the logos of those resources, and I tried to make it have a sort of a cohesive look using the school's colors. And here are two more pages, our library guide links that I developed last time for our capstone, and then the library catalog I'm very excited about because it has a search bar where you can directly search on our website and it will go to our catalog. Previously, the Destiny website does not link easily, so students would click the link and then have to click multiple links to get to our catalog. But with this widget that I found, I was very excited because they can just type in the word and it will search it in our catalog. So these are some example pages from the Center School Library website. I used a similar design as I did for Wool Swamp, but I changed the colors and a bit of the content to emphasize what Center School wanted to use and to use their colors. So like Sora was more important for Center School. They wanted a place for photos, and there was a presentation that the librarian had made about Caldecott books. And then this is my notice that I developed to let students know that they have an overdue book. So once we're able to truly understand what books in our collection are overdue, this is something that I could give to a student so that they could go home and look for their title. And if they can't find it, then they come back and we go from there. So I want to be a children's librarian, and I'm really excited that I got a chance to develop a website for that audience and to use what I learned in my Drexel web design class in this project. And I did get a chance to sort of develop communication materials and to sort of look at our managing materials process. I'm really glad that I have a plan going forward with our materials. There was a lot of sort of challenges in this project that I wasn't anticipating, and I'm really glad I got a chance to sort of reflect on those challenges and on our process as a library. So thank you for watching my presentation.